about no risk, no gain.
Founder of Women for Financial Independence.
It's about success, sweet success.
Governor's Conference for Women.
Smart girls finish rich.
She's the president and CEO of ChappelWood Financial.
It's about consistency will always outperform occasional brilliance.
And she is the financial diva.
It's about the money, honey.
Hello and welcome to It's All About the Money, Honey. I'm your host, Paul Gebhardt, with our guest today, Victoria Woods of ChappelWood Financial Services. Thank you for being with us today, Victoria.
Well, thank you for having me, Paul. I'm excited to be here.
I am super excited to have you because I know you're a very busy lady. You're very involved.
Very involved. Yes, I am. I run a company, write books, have a radio show with Mr. Damon King, the king of finance himself. I am a state commissioner for the state of Oklahoma.
Wait, state commissioner?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I know. Do I look like a state commissioner to you? I don't think so.
Not a prototypical one, for sure.
Exactly.
So how did that come about? What got you interested in that?
Well, actually, the governor, our past governor, asked me to join the commission, and it's the Oklahoma Commission on the Status of Women. Well, it's a big honor, you know, when the governor asks you. And of course, my question was, okay, well, how long is the term? You know, what's the commitment time? And they go, Victoria, when the governor asks you, you just say yes. Yeah. So, and then I was reappointed by our current governor, Governor Stitt. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. And of course, it's an honor just serving women, right? I mean, that's got to be what it's all about.
And she knows that's my passion is helping entrepreneurs and really helping women, especially with their finances. Yes. But, you know, supporting women in their business or supporting them just as a, you know, fellow female. So, yeah.
So I heard an interesting story how you founded ChappelWood, right? Mm-hmm. And where the name ChappelWood comes from. Would you share that with everybody?
Well, that is a pretty good story, though. Okay, so I'm really busy. I'm taking care of people. Yeah. I mean, what do you mean I have to go downtown, fill out paperwork, and incorporate? I'm taking care of people. I can't be bothered with that.
Right.
So my husband says to me, well, Victoria, why don't you just give me the paperwork? I'll go down. And I said, well, I don't have any paperwork. He said, look, I'm going to go down and incorporate you. You actually are running a business, and it should be incorporated in the state. Okay. So he actually went down, and I'd given him some names, though. I had done that part. But they all had something to do with oak tree or oak something. And he gets down there. Now, I'm new to Oklahoma, and there's like 10,000 companies. Yeah. So he says, okay, well, she's not coming down. I'm just going to make something up. If she doesn't like it, you know, kind of too bad. So he takes my maiden name, which is Chappell. It was Chappelle. When our, you know, ancestors came over here, they left off the E, made it Chappell, more American. Sure. Well, what he does is he takes off one of the L's. It's CHA, 2 P's, 1 L, but my name is really with 2. So he takes off 1 L, and then he actually combines it with my married name, his name, Woods, but he left off the S. And I think he honestly did it all as a mistake. I do not think it's intentional. I believe it was a mistake because he writes his S's so little that they think it's a dot.
It's like a period.
Yeah, something.
So thus, ChappelWood was born.
There's ChappelWood. So when something doesn't go right, or I think, you know, my reputation is so vital to me and critical, and I will say, well, you know, people will say, well, whose name is on the door, right, of a business? I go, both my names are up there. That's how seriously I take this.
I'm doubly committed.
I'm double.
It's awesome. So today we're going to talk to folks a little bit about, you know, the importance of protection, right?
Listen, we have in my office, Paul, Damon has his favorite, and it's really income planning. I mean, he will, if you have to take everything away from him, that's what it's going to be. For me, you take everything away and it's going to be protection. And people don't believe it. I don't know why, just my personality, that I'm super, super conservative. Very, very conservative. So when we look at financial planning, I look at, you know, what of my money, because I worked hard for it. As we accumulate it, it's accumulation, it's preservation, then we worry about distribution. But I want to preserve what I've worked so hard for. Now, in our industry, I mean, we talk about fixed annuities as being, we've got 3 things. You can go to my website at ChappelWood.com. That is 2 P's, 1 L. You go to ChappelWood.com, and you can look on there, and we talk about the 3 places you can go to protect. Well, you can't earn any money there. You're actually losing money if you put it in the bank. You can't, buy T-bills or anything. So fortunately, we have indexed annuities. And I really get comical. I think it's so comical when I hear these people on TV or in an ad go, I hate annuities and you should too.
Yeah.
And I go, you don't want to hear what goes on in my head, really.
Yeah.
I can't say it out loud. My mama would be very unhappy.
Yeah,
she would probably be unhappy if I was like, you're kidding. Well, that just means you know nothing about them. Because we have, and I designed this for my clients years ago, called the Gold Bucket Optimizer. And in that, we look at, the cash, the protection of assets. And when clients come in for the first time, that's what we look at. We show them, well, this is where all your money is. Because they think it's diversification, and they may have an overlap of, 4 different mutual funds. I'm diversified. Well, not really, because see, they're all overlapping. They're all really the same. They just got a new name.
Right.
That's the truth.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
It happens a lot. So when we sit down and do an analysis for clients so that we can show them, this is what you truly have, and does that really match your goals? But what I see constantly, and I have for over, I say 25 plus, 28 years, going on 30 actually. I started when I was 12.
Yeah.
So, you have all of this, and you look at what these people have, and you go, you put a big old circle, there's a big old hole there. And the reason is, it's not the people's fault. No. It's not the investor's fault. And women always like, oh my God, they're kind of mortified.
Yeah.
And said, why didn't somebody tell me about this? Yeah. And I said, I can't answer that question, but let me tell you what I have done. And I have actually had guarantee of principal, fixed annuities, indexed annuities since I was 32. 32 years old. Well, what does that tell you about me as an investor and me as an advisor? Because I advise and do the same things. It's, I walk the walk, talk the talk. I do exactly with you what I do for myself. And, and it works for me. I have a gentleman, though, once, and I think about this, Paul, with saving, taking care of women. And here this gentleman, not going to have it. No, Victoria, we're good. No big deal. Until 2008, Paul. And then he calls up and he says, hey, Diva. He says, can we revisit that, that guarantee of principal thing you talk about?
Yeah, I've been thinking.
Right? No, I've been scared. I want to go to cash. I want to go to, I'm scared.
Yep.
And we're talking a substantial amount of money. And bless his heart, he said, and I had to say, I always say yes. You ask me anything, I'm going to say, of course we can do it. Not right now. It was like, this is the worst time you could do it.
Really?
This is in January after 2008. It was dominoes.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Yes, we can, but not now. This is the wrong time. So to hold a client's hand through that, it's so painful. And then he got cancer, and unfortunately, he's passed away. However, after January, I said yes, so I fly out. About March, I now say, okay, now we can. And he wanted $500,000 protected. Now he's like, by the time I got out there, it was $750,000 of his assets. After I got there and we talked overnight, I said, well, let's just sleep on this and all. The next day, it was $1 million. I want $1 million protected. Yeah. And then he got sick and he passed away. So he was really taking care of his wife because he was a gambler and he was an entrepreneur. Yeah. So for him, it was more about taking care of his wife.
Oh,
which,
that's a beautiful story.
I know.
That's a beautiful story. I love guys to do that. That's good
know.
Stuff. So listen, we got to take a quick break, but I know you got an incredible offer. Victoria and her team are offering 10 completely no obligation consultations, reviews, to talk to you about your plan, to see where you're at. Pick up the phone. That's all you got to do. The phone number is 888-838-3482. Again, they're completely complimentary, but there's only 10 spots left. 888-838-DIVA. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after these short messages. Stay with us, won't you?
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go? And who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
And welcome back to It's All About the Money, Honey. I'm your host, Paul Gebhardt, with my guest today, Victoria Woods of ChappelWood Financial Services. Mm-hmm. Fantastic first segment. I mean, I think the thing that I'm immediately drawn to is just your energy and passion to want to help people. Specifically, your passion to help women and your belief that, women really need to take control and be involved in their financial planning and their futures, right?
Oh, they really should. And so many women don't. They allow that to be, their husband takes care of it, and they just like, I'm taking care of the kids and the house and a job maybe and all the things. It's like, like you take care of that, and they trust their husbands to. But the truth is that, the average female is going to lose her husband and going to manage her money. 90% of women, most women don't get that. 90% are going to manage your money at some point in your life, either for yourself or your children. So what is going to happen when you allow that spouse to take care of it? And that's a wonderful thing. They're doing a good job for you. However, I've got so many stories, Paul, about how a woman allowed that because, again, she's got a job. She's taking care of the kids. And her husband passes away unexpectedly. And I think of Judy, the first time Judy comes in, and we ask, bring a friend, bring a girlfriend, bring a nephew, bring a brother, sister, somebody that just to help them be comfortable because they're referred to us. And Judy's husband was a police officer, and he became ill and he passed away. And what happens is they come in and they're mortified, they're heartbroken, they're grieving. And they know nothing. They haven't been in the process. They haven't been in a meeting with advisors. And we see that in our own office. They're so paralyzed. But what brings me joy is when I can tell them, because I've done it so many times, is that, look, this is what's going to happen. You're petrified, and you need to go through the grieving process. And I've got a list here for you, the survivor's checklist. And I want you to focus on this. First, on yourself and your family. Then we'll start looking at these things. And there's things that you probably are overwhelmed with to think, you've got to do it right now. And that can wait 6 months. Let's do one thing at a time. And then in about 36 months, you're going to grow in confidence. And I'm going to be here to celebrate when you walk in the first time and say, I can feel the confidence in you, and I know you ask good questions, you get it, and it makes me very happy and proud.
Listen, I don't want to butt in, but this is getting me excited, this topic right here. Because I think I told you a little bit about my story about, being a mama's boy, and my mother
I can see that about you, Paul.
Oh, man, she was, I can't even, I can spend an hour talking about that, but I lost my mother on my 15th birthday. And it's so true that nobody loves you like your mom. And this is for the ladies out there. It's just so important. You're so involved in every aspect of your family's buying power. From where your family goes on vacation, to where you live, to cars they drive, to education. Why wouldn't you be more involved in the financial side of that, knowing that it depends on that? Right, Victoria?
Yes, and the fact that it's a fact. Stats show the data's there. You are going to manage these investments. 90% of women. okay, we got 100 women in a room, 90 of y'all stand up. You're going to do that at some point in your life. So you should start learning about it. And it only takes an hour a quarter.
Yeah.
To sit, first, you have a meeting, you sit down, we discover what it is that you have, what your desires, your goals are. What do you want this money to do? And you talked about education, and we have this couple that comes in, and she doesn't really want to be there. She doesn't. Because she's got the twins and the kids and the job and all.
She has a lot, yeah.
She has a lot on her plate, and we understand. But I said, no, we require that. And when she came in, she actually loved it.
Yeah.
But we sat down. When we got to talking about guarantee of principal, though, because they had this big hole. When I look at all their stuff, you got a big hole here.
Yeah.
We need to fill that bucket. We need to fill that hole. And we now have to have this discussion because now we have a spouse here, and the spouse says, no, we're young. We don't need that. Yeah. So the wife says, excuse me?
Yeah.
I want $500,000 in that account. Now she's involved.
Totally.
She's
There's
protecting
no going back now.
Yeah, that's right. Because you know what she cared about?
What?
For that $500,000, it wasn't about her and her retirement. Again, they're pretty young. They were in their 30s. They inherited a bunch of money. She said, for her kids' education.
Absolutely.
That was about her. And I told the husband.
That is a
so
mama
he's
bear
saying,
right there.
okay, I'll compromise at $250,000. She goes, I want a $500,000 in that account. And it's like, okay, let me tell you why she wants that.
Yeah.
And you can tell him why you want that. Am I spot on? It's about your kids' education, right?
Absolutely.
And she said, yes. And you have to. And I said, well, I can leave the room, or y'all can go home and discuss. We got to pick a number here. And of course, she's going to win.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned a lot about guaranteed income. I keep hearing that come back. Yeah, it's a recurrent theme. So I want to ask you, one vehicle I'm aware of that I think is an amazing idea and concept is the annuity. But there are people that are just scared to death of annuities. They don't understand them. Be honest with you, there's a lot of negative publicity out there.
There is.
I mean, so really.
And it's crazy.
Yeah. So once and for all, is annuities a good thing or a bad thing?
Every single product designed is a good thing because it solves someone's problem.
Yes.
An issue. It's a strategy. It's a solution. Is every annuity... Because they act like there's one. There's thousands of types of annuities. As I said before, Paul, I've had annuities since I was 32 years old.
Yeah.
So for me, I would not sleep at night. I do not sleep well if I didn't know that a certain portion, and when we say portion, we talk about percentages. Men talk dollars. Women want to know what percent.
Yeah.
They do. Like, I have this client. We have her gold buckets out there. We've had her account for years. Her accounts are doing extremely well. And she manages her money by herself. She's one of the 90%. So here she is, and she's very happy with the results.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, but you do understand, look at the new percentages down here. I know you're happy about this. I understand we're going to pay a little taxes on it. But do you want to remove this? Because it's like a mandate to me. We have an investment policy statement for our clients. And that statement says, I want 50% of my money protected.
Yeah.
And when you see it's gone up to 72%, you got to, okay, I know we're happy about this. Let's celebrate. However, we now have another decision to make before we end our meeting.
Yeah.
Because now you're out of balance. Do you feel comfortable with that? Because we can change. And if not, then we have to take some of this money off the table and make a decision. And of course, she took the money off the table. And my job was then to go out and find her the best bonus, the best product that she could get to solve her problems.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. We get back. I want to talk to you a little bit about estate planning, but we got to take a quick break. Again, the phone lines are open. There's some spots available. It's a completely complimentary review. You're going to get to meet with Victoria. You're going to meet the diva. And you're going to get to meet Damon, and they're going to sit down and build a plan around you and your goals, right? Pick up the phone and call them right away. 888-838-3482. 888-838-DIVA. Stay with us. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back after these messages.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Hello and welcome back to It's All About the Money, honey. And I'm your host, Paul Gebhard, with our good friend here, Victoria Woods. Victoria, so much information and just your passion for empowering women to be in charge of their financial future. I think it's just so solid and now more than ever something that's needed. But you were telling me a little funny story about shock absorber. What's that about? Tell me the story.
Well, back in the 90s, we have, and when we talk about guarantee of principal, I use that term, or protection of your assets. It's the only solution you have is an annuity. And there's so many out there, though. We made a checklist for our clients about, what's important to you, because you can get some long-term care in there. We can get a bonus or no bonus. You can get it's designed to help you weed out what's not important so you can focus on what is important. And I would try in the 90s because the market was going crazy, and because I'm so passionate about having a portion of your rest. I don't care what's going on in the market. The market goes up and down. I want to sleep at night.
Yes.
We give our clients masks. You should have one here. We give our clients masks so they can sleep well at night.
Better. I love it.
Yes. It's like, I want you to sleep well at night. So no matter what happens out in crazy land, you are protected so that you can sleep and you can have peace of mind.
Yeah.
The only way to do that is to have, in my opinion, and it's worked for us for almost 30 years, the good, the bad, the ugly. We talked about 2008, but we want people to have an annuity. Well, these guys, and it's the men. The women totally get it. And I don't care. They go, well, why would I do that when I can get this 114% return on the Oppenheimer Enterprise Fund or something? I went, you think if it got 114 this year, you think that's going to happen again next year?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood it's going to go down 50%? Then you're going to be all upset.
Totally right. Talking about the concept of market adjustments.
There you go.
All the time.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
So finally, I said, I've got to find a way for guys to get it.
Yeah.
They got to get it somehow. And I don't know where this came from, but I finally asked this gentleman one day, Scott, and I said, well, Scott, let me ask you this. Would you drive down this road here in Oklahoma with the potholes? Would you drive down it without shock absorbers on your car? And he goes, well, of course not. And I went, okay, now I got your That's what an annuity is for you. It's a shock absorber. So when crazy happens that you have no control over, none, you have no control. We talk in our office about always the crazy land out there, that what we can control is what goes on right here.
Right.
And we don't plan when we have a tornado going and we have cows flying around. No. Storms, hail. No. We do it when the sun is shining.
Yes.
That means we're calm. We're not in a panic.
Yeah.
We're not having a pandemic. We're not having a financial crisis. We're not having a tech bubble burst. We don't have 9/11. You don't make good decisions then. You make the best decisions when the sun is shining and the sky is blue, and it's calm. That's when you make the best decisions.
Absolutely.
And so that was my shock absorber
I
story.
liked it. That's a good story. It's a
I think
good
I
way to
put
get
that in
started.
my book.
Well,
I'm not really sure.
speaking of which,
I think.
now you're reading my mind because I was going to ask you about that book. I've been dying.
It's a fun book, I have to tell you.
So what motivated the book?
Clients.
Yeah.
You've got to write a book, Victoria, because they wanted to give it to their family, their friends. But what's the title of the book? Guess what?
It's all about the money, honey.
Bingo. It is all about the money, honey.
Cute. That's awesome.
And really, it was clients and people in the industry. And I said, there's a lot of good books, right, Paul?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I didn't think so. I went and got them, and I love this stuff, and this is boring to me.
Put you to sleep?
So what I did is I went and wrote a book that helps people understand about, how do you interview a financial advisor? And I give them questions.
What a great concept. That's
Yes, I'm like, okay, why do you need one? And we start off with doing stupid with money. Like we've all done stupid with money. So let's just call that education is expensive, and let's don't do it again.
It's true. Education is expensive, right?
And let's just don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
Did that once, done it.
Yeah.
Not going to do that stupid thing again. And I start off with a stupid thing that I did. And I made a commitment never to do it again, and I haven't. Not going to do it. It's that whole, there's another story about golf course bragging rights for men.
Okay.
But it was, I really wanted to talk about what you should expect from a financial advisor. And when you're interviewing one, get a referral from a friend that, you know, that they are happy with and they're comfortable. Go to a bank. Go definitely to an independent so that you can see the difference in what they offer. And I actually listed, because you can Google questions.
Yeah.
And like, okay, take these with them. People don't, but I said, Google the questions. The problem with that, Paul, they don't have the answers. I gave them the answers.
Really?
This is what the advisor should say. If they don't, you simply say, Paul, it was so nice meeting you, and you exit.
Yeah.
If they don't give you the right answer.
No doubt.
So I give them the questions. I'm the best teacher in the world. I give you the questions and the answers.
Right, it's good stuff. And it's important because, you know, it's interesting your concept of interviewing your financial advisor.
Absolutely.
Because they're applying for a job, really.
Listen, you're talking about 30 years.
Yeah.
My relationship with you is 30 years. I got to like you, Paul.
Absolutely.
I mean, and you got to like me. It's got to be, this is a partnership about your future, about your life. You're rocking for 30 years.
And you have to know that they're competent, right? That they understand all the aspects of retirement, right?
Yeah,
we talked
not
about
just
it
one.
being in concert. All these things have to work together, right?
Right.
So, you know, it's a completely fascinating story about your beginning. And, you know, quickly, we don't have a whole lot of time, but if you could tell us quickly, how did you get motivated to become a financial advisor?
It is not a quick story, so I'm just going to say I was born into a family of divorced parents, very humble beginnings, no, you know, money for lunch to go to school. I mean, no lunch money. And I became very successful. I always wanted to be the best in whatever I did. And I was very successful, and my income doubled. And I realized, my gosh, I'm going to be making a lot of money. I need to know how to invest it.
Oh, that's good stuff. Because listen, we're running out of time, but I could talk to Victoria forever. She's got amazing stories. But this is what it comes down to. In the end, it's all about your future. That's what she's about. That's what this group is about. Your future. What do you want to see? And the one question, the burning question, the one that's on everyone's mind, what do you want your future to look like? Find out today. Find out today. All you got to do is make the call, 888-838-3482. Thank you for being with us. Take care and be well.